Hello everybody, the Lost Galaxy Gamer here with another episode of City Skylines. Um, I I think this is going to be the last episode. Something happens to keep me going. There's not much more other than just watching a million disasters slam into the city. There's not much more I can do with this. And we had mass death last time. We're still going through that, where I degraded the city services, and then we had a lot of death. And then the death care got overwhelmed, so the death care isn't able to grab all of this. So now we have a bunch of abandoned buildings. And the city seems to be okay with 12% tax, so that's what we're rocking with.
The wait is over. It's finally here. Friday night chili bowling at Andy's Bowling Alley. Every Friday night, anyone who buys at least 2 games of bowling gets a free bowl of chili. So don't wait, book a lane now. Due to recent incidents, the chili will only be distributed at the end of your visit. That way you can enjoy it wherever you want, in a park, at home, or on a construction site. In the meantime, you'll have all the fun that bowling can provide. So come on back and be reminded that you're not actually that good at bowling. Andy's Bowling Alley. Can you hear it? Listen closely. It's the sound of refreshment. Pop soda refreshment. Pop soda. Belch the best.
Hey everyone, I've been thinking, what do you say the most rocking instrument is? Guitar, right? Well, that's what I thought too, but then I remembered the double guitar. Keep it here for double the rock, double the roll, and double the guitars.
Oh, ow, ouchie. So until population comes back to fill up this campus again, we're going to be eating a lot of our money just out the window, eating the money out the window. So this is a lot where the new construction's going into that new sector of the city. Eventually, reconstruction will happen in the main downtown part of the city and revitalize all these homes. Yes, I want to put my general store on the mountain. Okay, I could see gas stations because they would have a consistent customer base of the garbage trucks.
I won't be coming round. Cold heart breaks to the beat of this town. Heaven seems so far away. The word is out, so come what may. Thinking about those promises that we just couldn't keep. Maybe we are better off alone. Save me from the tears that I've cried. Tell me that at least we did try. Say that we belong in a world without lies. You and I.
What does it feel like to drive a cloud? What does it feel like to steer a river? What does it smell like to smell a mountain? At Jubilee, we're committed to letting you do the impossible, and now we've succeeded in letting you drive the undrivable. The Jubilee Dementia. The car engineers said shouldn't be made. Test drive one today and experience what scientists for decades claimed was beyond the realm of safe driving. Jubilee. Be reasonable or be fast.
At Sternberger, our cars are more than just hunks of metal that take you from point A to point B. They are also composed of industrial plastics, polymers, and rubbers. We also know it's what's in the car that is more important than the car itself. And that's why it can also carry up to 300 kilograms of human, animal, or consumer goods cargo. The climate control device brings the air temperature to 22 degrees Celsius. It's our way of making our cars comfortable for the majority of mammal species. In fact, it is a perfect vessel for transport from short to medium distances, and we believe that the price we are asking is a fair trade for the value transfer to the consumer. Sternberger, more than just an auto.
What's up, people? I'm Lars Kurtfield with Rock City, pumping the best sounds of rock straight into the city.
Coast Guard is warning of a tsunami approaching the area. Residents should
Oh, hello
avoid
there,
roads
Tsunami.
and waterfronts. A tsunami has struck the city. Take caution and avoid roads and waterfronts until the water recedes.
Yeah, that blood wall's actually helping a lot in slowing it down.
A tsunami has struck the city. Take caution and avoid roads and waterfronts until the water recedes.
Oh yeah, no, the blood barrier actually killed the a lot of the tsunami's momentum. It also could have been a lot lower, a lot less deadly version of the tsunami.
A tsunami has struck the city. Take caution and avoid roads and waterfronts until the water recedes.
I'm gonna dig a canal back there.
A tsunami has struck the city. Take caution and avoid roads and waterfronts until the water recedes.
To the wall. It seems like forever since we let things go. But sometimes, baby, when I look in your eyes, I can
A tsunami has struck the city. Take caution and avoid roads and waterfronts until the water recedes.
see
We all want to be prepared. We all want to be sure that the people we leave behind don't think we're jerks. That's where Final Insurance comes in. We provide peace of mind for when you rest in peace. For a small monthly sum, you can spend your final years knowing that Final Insurance has everything taken care of. Final Insurance, the last insurance you'll ever need.
It's Super Salmon Days down at Fish Brothers. For a limited time, bring in any fish and get a child salmon entree free. You heard right. Bring in any fish and get a free child salmon entree. And I mean any fish. Got a swordfish lying around? Bring it in. Got a goldfish you're sick of feeding? Bring it in. Got a fish that's been sitting in the sun for a few days? Bring it in. We'll throw it in with the rest of them. What we do with the fish is nobody's business but ours. Just enjoy your salmon $8.99 with our famous stew. So, welcome on into Fish Brothers Seafood Themed Restaurant, where everything's a great catch. Except the shrimp. Lights, camera, movie. There's nothing like watching a movie to take you to another place or time. And there's no better place to watch than Drome Cinema. And no better time than the time it takes you to get from where you are to where we are. You'll break box office records of fun as you take a trip to Tinseltown, Movieville, USA. Action, cut, quiet on the set. Our theaters feature noise-absorbing fabric, guaranteeing the only thing you hear is the movie. That high-pitched shuttle drone is normal. It's the sound your ears hear when there's nothing for your ears to hear here. So come on down and enjoy the movies where everyone's a star.
Rocco the Blocko on Rock City.
What's about that?
Guard is warning of a tsunami approaching the area. Residents should avoid roads and waterfronts.
I just unlocked the achievement. Eternal City. Have 10 disasters hit the same city.
A tsunami has struck the city. Take caution and avoid roads and waterfronts until the water recedes.
Ooh, this is the bigger one. It was a bigger one, but again, the flood barrier helped kill momentum. Also, just like flood glitch is helping as well. It's like catching a bit of the flood's momentum.
A tsunami has struck the city. Take caution and avoid roads and waterfronts until the water recedes.
Only 84 of the 10,000 places that complete.
tsunami has struck the city. Take caution and avoid roads and waterfronts until the water recedes. A tsunami has struck the city. Take caution and avoid roads and waterfronts until the water recedes. A tsunami has struck the city. Take caution and avoid roads and waterfronts until the water recedes.
Coffee, fuel of the modern economy. The age-old Italian tradition of burning beans and drinking the bitter bean juice. At Burn Bean Coffee, our environment is perfect for all of your work needs. There's no better place to be distracted than the Burn Bean Coffee Shop and Cafe. Our coffee technicians are trained to make a variety of coffees and sugary coffee-themed drinks just as you like it, all while generally making more noise than anyone could reasonably ignore. So drink up and let the productivity flow. Sippy sip coffee fans, Burn Bean Coffee. Get it while it's hot. Due to recent court actions, we are required to warn against the drinking of hot coffee.
What does it feel like to drive a cloud? What does it feel like to steer a river? What does it smell like to smell a mountain? At Jubilee, we're committed to...
A tsunami has struck the city. Take caution and avoid roads and waterfronts until the water recedes.
The Jubilee Dementia. The car engineers said shouldn't be made. Test drive one today and experience what scientists for decades claimed was beyond the realm of safe driving. Jubilee. Be reasonable or be fast.
Lars here. Did you know how much a guitar weighs? It's not a joke. I need to send a guitar and I don't know how many stamps to get. Anyway, keep it here. We've got some great music coming up.
A tsunami has struck the city. Take caution and avoid roads and waterfronts until the water recedes. tsunami has struck the city. Take caution and avoid roads and waterfronts until the water recedes.
$28,000 citizens. So over half our city is literally non-workable people. So we lost about 4,000 people. So about the entirety of the town died. So there's only 5,000 people. Well, not enough customers. Well, that's it for the city. There's not much more I can do with it. So let's take a gander. Yes, at the nighttime. Well, it's a beautiful night. This is the first development outside of the main city that I did. Two tsunamis in the last episode of this game. Just because the game's like, fuck this part of the city, and dead. But then, here's the original part of the city. I don't even think this has been ever really hit with disasters. I decided to keep this in Suburbia. And this was, I think, ooh, this part was the addition. I remember expanding over here. It was the first high residential. And then here's the massive commercial block. Oh yeah, I forgot about this is the industrial sector for the city. Also another residential block. And then this was our breadwinner. The thing that's made us so much money. We've made near 1 million produced resources. Here's the college, which I made way too big. Although we're finally almost starting to fill it now. Near 100% capacity. Which, money. Money. And then, because this is Olive Height, there's 15,000 people. This is Elm Park, which holds the majority of our city. It is finally, looks like it's finally recovered from the population crash that happened because of funding disputes. And then we got this section of the city that was added in the last couple episodes. How much this one hold 12,000 people. And this is the relatively newer development that hasn't even been fully filled out yet. Holds up 14,000 people, and it's probably going to hold around another 60,000 people. At its full capacity. And then, as a throwback, there's going to make a bunch of suburban housing over here, but it hasn't filled out yet. It probably won't fill up for a long while until demand gets high enough where all this is filled. And then we have the dam that makes all of the city power, essentially, other than this one thing over here. It makes 300 megawatts, but this is the thing that produces all of our power, every ounce of it. And I'm almost out of power. That's interesting. making our own reservoir that produces power. That's the whole point of this. Well, it was an experiment to see if it was even viable. And I spent like $500,000 to terraform all of that stuff around. I think probably $1 million at this rate to terraform that. To see if this was viable. And I quickly learned it was viable. Just to shove water into a spot and then have a dam run through it. Because this was only meant to lock the water in for the zoo. This actually produces 32,000, 32 W megawatts. Which this wouldn't be enough to justify its existence. But let's say if I triple the size, this thing would generate a lot of power. Like, maybe making this thing a bit smaller. Actually, no. Being this size is justified because the upkeep doesn't change on the size of the power plant. Only how much it costs to build just to build it. So I could build this thing half the size of the map, and it would only still cost $5,000 to upkeep. And yeah, this thing is the breadwinner for the power. But the caveat for that is we're spending $64,000 on water, on the water system. So you could argue that a big chunk of that, like, water maintenance is the expense for the dam. Because, well, let's look at our income and expenses one last time. The biggest breadwinner in terms of money is our residential, which is surprising for me, because I would thought our industry would have kept ahead from all of those building. This thing's screaming, I don't have water! I don't have water! There you go, mister, I don't have water. The industry does make more money than both offices and commercial combined. Which that actually jumps up and down because it's just whenever the other facilities get resources and then export their unique goods. Industry, of how hard I've neglected it. Understandably has essentially no money output. We make 15,000 from our transport systems, even though it's free for all citizens because it's from all the tourists, because it's not free for tourists. Oh, education is right now the breadwinner, the second breadwinner. On just stability alone, because this stably brings me in 184 to 185,000, and then if it was at full capacity, it'd probably be bringing in about 300,000. Well, that's also very mixed in with how many students are coming in. So 15% of our student population is not from our town. So a lot of these people are from the city. So eventually that student number is going to drop really hard because we'll educate most of our population. Except if this keeps happening, where it's like, whoop, everyone's dead. Seeing the effects of an evacuation that isn't planned, it's pretty telling that you need to set up evacuation buses everywhere and have it do it on its own. Otherwise, the people just don't make it to the shelter. Like they're either driving or walking, and they'll just get caught in the disaster pretty quickly. I also should have designed these better in terms of disaster prevention. Because the side bars like this don't work. They do not work for tsunamis, for escorting out civilians. Because, well, the bus is going to... The bus is going to have to take these oblong routes. And if it was up and down, the buses would have a lot more freedom to travel. But I can also see it being like this that it slows down the tsunami. These are massive disappointments because they're so damn expensive and they don't make me any money. I love how the park, that is what bleh, makes me nearing $3,000, and yes. And then this mass artery system of essentially connecting the cities. Or connecting the district of the city. Because the more that you have this all condensed together, where it's just internal traffic, the worse this will get. Because, yes. I'm also wondering how I could do this better in terms of infrastructure. Because it feels like these in-between gaps are a lot more hurting to traffic than actually helping. And I'm wondering, is it more worth it to just have really long strips and no turns? Or I have this insane plan, whichever, if I ever build none of this city I need to think about. I need to make, I'm not going to actually build it, but I feel like right here, I need to make boxes where there's empty space in the middle. And then have a road that goes from somewhere around the box inward to and then make it where people can get to the stuff internal of the box. Allowing the junctions to be larger, so the junctions, like these small junctions, don't get locked up with cars, preventing like, these junctions get locked up a lot, what I see. And they prevent these, like a lot of cars going down these junctions. So if the roads were longer, I feel like they wouldn't lock up as much. So it would just require me doing boxes with an internal roadblock. Yep. Then attempt to help alleviate the traffic situation from ever becoming a real problem. Ever since I got rid of the smoke detector order, a free smoke detector, been seeing a lot more fires. So, not having a smoke detector order, I'm thinking about, makes it where you don't spend all that money on smoke detectors, but you have to adequately spend enough money on fire department. Heck, what I probably should have done with the dam was actually make this entire block. I only did it to, like, towards, like, the river, kinda. To, like, give it a defined shape. Thinking about it, I could have done this entire block as the dam. Removed, like, this. And had, like, a giant dam section. That would have just been generating lots of power. Like, ungodly amounts of power. Because I could easily see getting 200 to 300 megawatt, like 3 or 4,000 megawatts out of this thing, if you built it right. And that's just because, like, I could have made this reservoir a lot taller. I could have made it as tall as one of these mountains and filled it with that much water. Which would have, I think, probably given a lot more power as well. So we're 400 megawatts off of being out of power. The thing is, I can't really expand anymore. I could, like, maybe put a block of housing over here, and I would maybe get right to the edge of running out of power. But there's not really much more I can do with this city without doing massive terraforming, ripping down this mountain, ripping a lot of the road work up. But there's another thing I could do. I could build up a lot of money, like an ungodly, like 20, 30 million, and then rip the entire thing off this map. Every single structure, every single road, and then redesign the city from ground up. I don't want to do that. That feels like a little bit not in the spirit of this game. To, like, rip everything up and then place whatever the hell I want. Because this is a fully functional city. It works. Got some budget imbalances right now. Although, since we have state industry, it's fine. It's just possible fluctuations with the state industry. And we'll move money. And then it's just this. I'm gonna go into the end of this academic year to see if we gain any more students or lose students. And then I'm gonna call it for the series. There's not really much more I can do with the city. So the only other thing I can do is start a new map. Because the other thing I've found out is performance degrades when there's a lot of pedestrians in one spot or another. Like anywhere on the map, not even where I'm looking at. Because I saw very heavy slowdowns where it's like something's wrong. And it's like, let me find, because like this one was one of the spots where it's like heavily overpopulated. There's like 1,000 people just standing at one bus stop, causing the game to degrade in its performance because it's trying to keep track of 1,000 pedestrians in one spot alone. Oh wow, we're out of heat. You know what? Fuck it. Use electricity for the heat, I don't care. Boo! 100 more megawatts. 200 more megawatts. Oh, I removed the cap on free public transport. Let me put that back on. The other thing is I've realized is buses long term are not a solution. They take up too much of the road. They take too much money to run. Not to take too much money on the road. It's just the problem is they take up too much of the road. They can clog up so much other things from getting through. Let me look at the public transport map. Because metros, if you design them right, can transport so much of your population so much faster, so much quicker. But they're kind of expensive to run en masse. Also, you only need one airport. One of each type. You don't need to have 3. Because people don't really use them. Also, trains are very good at moving people across the map. But unfortunately, that's it for this video and this series. Because there's not much more I can do. The game threw us 2 tsunamis at the end. So like, goodbye! See you in the next city, the game said. Because that's where we're at. I'm in a good stable spot. The only other thing I could do with this is watch this part of the city grow. Because the other commercial demands through the roof again. Which is funny. We do have a lot of space for households. That might be a thing. Or if I just removed a couple blocks and added commercial and fill out that, and that would be the end of it. But we're gonna probably hit 150,000 people when it's fully full up. Which is a pretty full city. Yeah, nothing much more. Nothing much more to say. Went back through the calling of the city's history. added these sports things like last second. Because this is the big breadwinner of my city. Making me $1.5 million space bucks. Because the whole point of varsity sports, which I realized, is you want to make as many varsity sports as possible. You want to get every single stadium possible. So you can draw up that attractiveness a lot to get more people in. Oh yeah, but yeah, that's it. There's nothing more to say. I could keep rambling all night about things I could have done better and things I'll do next time whenever I play this game again. Or if anyone wants me to record this game again. Probably going to go on a break from this game. All I've done this game a lot. But successful city. Woo! So, please like, comment, subscribe, and peace.